Okay, good morning. Okay, we'll start the discussion. Okay, now first let me discuss some two general problems, then I'll go for the assignment questions. Read the question. Just a concept of toppling. Just I wanted to introduce some fluid sign toppling idea. There's a concrete block. It can rotate about an axis passing through point A perpendicular to plane. On the other side, left-hand side, we have a liquid. Read the question, at least you'll get an idea. Okay, there's our diagram. So what is the liquid? Liquid will exert force on it. And because of that, it will try to swing. So what the water will happen will try to push it. And it is injured about point, you can say it is injured about point A, that one. Or it not, you can say like cannot slide on the horizontal base. The concrete block cannot slide on horizontal base, but can rotate about an axis passing through the plane of the figure and passing through point A. So this liquid will exert a force, the water will exert a force. Will it set up any torque? Yes, there will be torque. Okay, how to get into directly that torque idea. So as we know, rectangular concrete block. Okay, the width of this, let it be B. I think I'll give a better diagram. Okay, there's a liquid present. So what it does, I think, yeah. There's a concrete block. The other side, liquid is present. So what is the general method for us? So we'll assume a strip dy, let it be h. Okay, dh, I'll take it. So there'll be force acting on that, and that force in what direction it will be? It will be in this direction. This df, will it set up any torque about point A as it should be? What is the total height of the liquid? Z. So what is the torque by this elemental strip? So first we'll go for df. So what is the df is equal to? Pressure at that point into dA. Width is not given. Let me assume that one. Pressure will be rho gh into, this will be B into dH here. So this will set up a torque about point A, torque by the liquid. So the torque by the liquid should be equal to dF into Z minus H. So rho GH B DH Z minus H. About point A, we are going for the torque, and the torque by the liquid in what sense will be like this. Please do imagination, because everything I can't put systematic diagram, not possible 3D diagrams. So therefore, I'll go for integration. Torque due to liquid, I'll get it. Rho GB Z H DH minus, this will be H square DH. So what should be the limit? 0 to Z. z square by 2 z cube by 3. Okay, the level of, and what is value of z? Z equal to 3x by 4. Later on I'll substitute it. Later on I'll substitute. There's a torque due to liquid. What about the torque due to weight? So if you look at the weight of the block, yeah, we'll go for weight of the block here. The weight of the block will act here. So torque due to liquid will be in this sense. Torque due to weight will be in this sense. For it to be in equilibrium, torque due to weight, mg should be equal to, what about the normal contact at shall we take like this? If at all there's a friction, the friction would have act in this direction. So it's telling smooth everything. It didn't bother anything, that one. Let it be smooth and it's not permitted to move. Maybe there is some sort of hinges there. So that will not permit the block to move. Concrete block it is. Torque due to weight about point A should be equal to mg into y by 2. Fine. So what is m? M should be equal to specific gravity. So the density of that material, sigma will take its density. That of the water, let it be rho w. Sigma into concrete block x, y, b, g, y by 2. For it to not to topple, so these two torques should be equal. So equate this to rho g b z, z square by 2, z cube by 3 should be equal to sigma x, y, b Okay, no. So the B, what we assume will get eliminated. Z equal to value substitute 3x by 4. Then we'll get a relation between x and y, the ratio of y by x for equilibrium. I'll give the answer later on, you check it. Small ideas like toppling. So what is that? The fluid, the hydrostatic force, can it acting on a solid, can it topple that, as it's having a tendency to topple it? And now you can ask questions, sir, like this force is something is acting here. Can it topple? It's like it. The liquid will exert a force here, that one. The force exerted by the liquid on the block will set up a torque about point here. No, not about this point. Select the torque is, it is hinged about point, So we are discussing the resultant torque about point. The force is not acting at this particular point. It is acting at this in this region. So it will be, as we know, we used to draw these arrows, no? No, advanced can be other. You see, nothing is there. Very, very simple ideas. I'll scroll down. Okay, somebody was asking. Okay, this is our answer. You do calculation later on. This is a typical what you see at irrigation projects. Read the question. Read the question. What is this? Shape quarter cylinder of radius r. The cylindrical shell it is. 1/4 of hollow cylinder is what? This particular thing. So this is what? that cylindrical gate. This is the water. It is inched about this particular point. There's an inch. First have a clarity of the diagram. What should be the tension in the cable? There are two cables are there, but only one cable is visible. Am I right? So the diagram should have would have been like this. Huh? I'm trying to help you with imagination. What actually the problem? At least teacher after showing diagram, you should able to think. You take Bisleri bottle. You can construct this one using Bisleri bottle. Cut into 1/4 of the 3/4 of the part you remove along the axis. Blue color is a liquid. Huh? This blue color is a liquid. Okay, now you see there's it contains the liquid, and those two are the cables. Huh? And this cylindrical gate. So what is cylindrical gate? It is quarter circular, not solid. Huh? It should be hollow. Cylindrical gate. I think it should be understood. Huh? Okay, these are the cables. So this is the wall. At least now manage it. We have a quarter. What is the volume of liquid? Quarter cylinder. Volume of quarter cylinder is the volume of the water there. There will be also side wall. Please, I think you must have common sense. If there is no side wall here, the liquid will flow out. To understand the problem, I'm showing it here. Otherwise, the liquid will come out from this side. Huh? Okay, let's get into problem. He's asking what is the tension in the cable. What is the if there were no cable, what would happen? Because of the how the liquid will exert force, it will exert force normally. Some rough diagram. How you manage? Huh? So you can do by integration. One thing you can do by integration, and we know a lot of things. So let's utilize the skills what we have. That one. What is the vertical force? Altogether, it will exert horizontal as well as vertical force. So I'll make this total numerical into a simplified part. There'll be net vertical force here. Somewhere here it will act. And there'll be a net horizontal force. So shall we calculate these two? The resultant of that is what F. Why it should pass through this point to, I had to give expression for that. Okay, how to calculate vertical force? Weight of the liquid. Yeah, we'll have. So what is Fe? Fe is what? The weight of the liquid here. Okay, now what is the weight of the liquid? Density of liquid given rho pi r square by 4 into what is the length? Length is L into G. So this is the vertical force. What about horizontal force? Shall we go for effective area? Effective area, how much it will be? It will become like a wall 2R. Only, sorry, R, no? It is R. Yeah, quarter cylinder, no? What is the total force, horizontal force acting on it? FH. So, but cylindrical gate, it's a curved, you're gone for the liquid will see effective area, that one. Then how to calculate its effective area? You know it, force per unit weight, you can apply the formula, or you can also calculate average force. Huh? Calculate average pressure at lower point. How much it will be rho gr. What is the pressure at this point? 0. So rho gr by 2, average pressure into area. Another formula I'm giving. What is F horizontal? Should be equal to average pressure into area, effective area of wall. What is the average pressure? At the bottom, how much will be? Rho gr. And here, how much it will be? 0. So 0 plus rho gr by 2. Effective area L into R. But sir, it's a curved, the liquid will see effective area. So this will become rho g L R square by 2. Check it from pressure triangle, we'll get same thing. Okay, good. From pressure triangle, we'll get the same thing. So now, what is the resultant force? The resultant force will be Fv square plus Fh square. So I'll get the resultant force. How do this force should act? The resultant force should pass through the point O. Any reason for that? Because how the liquid will exert force here? Will exert normally. All the forces, I think I'll draw the diagram. Huh? Here, this one. I'll show it not at every points. This is something very, very important. May help you in any numericals. Huh? Be careful. So all the forces which are acting, I'll show from O. Should be like this. Huh? Will I agree this? Because how the liquid will exert force normally. And what is a normal? Normal should pass through the center of circle. So the resultant of all these forces also what will happen? What is the resultant of all forces? That F. It should also pass through the point 2. I agree this. I think this is something very fundamental. Huh? So the resultant force is what will act here. I don't know that angle. It is like this. This is what the net force exerted by the liquid on the cylindrical gate, and it should pass through point 2. So it will make some angle theta. How to calculate theta? I think we have triangle here. So this is FV, FH, we have theta. From this, I'll get the tan theta. Tan theta equal to FH by FV. Pi by 2. Look at the values. Okay, now I have theta. So I want the torque. So for torque by the liquid. So I'll go for the perpendicular. Let me draw a perpendicular. So this is 90. So this is theta. So this is R. So this is, I think we'll write it, say some Yeah, D will write it. So what is the torque? No, torque, this is for this to be in equilibrium about point C, net torque about point C should be 0. So F into D should be equal to 2T into R. Why 2T? The tension here, T will be there. The tension here will be T. Two cables will be there. So since you're seeing only one cable, no, so therefore I'll write 2T. Justify it. Okay, now you know on one side the F. Okay, D how to calculate D? Cos theta from the triangle cos theta equal to D by R. So R equal to D equal to R cos theta equal to 2T. R get cancelled. So F cos theta by 2. This will be the tension. So what is the value of F, you know? Then you know tan theta. From tan theta, you're going to calculate cos theta. He has given those values. You can check it. Substitute solve, you'll get expression for tension. And this of all, this is very important. I want students to really analyze this. The force exerted by liquid at any point should pass through the point 2 because it's a normal force, no? Can you work out? I think I'll give this one. Rho G R square by 8. I solved it. Something I ended up like this. You have to cross verify it. Okay, I'll scroll down. Just make observation. Applications problems will be of this kind, with the toppling, with the tension, with the friction. So like here we can also bring, instead of cable, you can bring spring force, and the springs will remain horizontal or elastic cord. So then spring force will come into picture. So along with the fluid, hydrostatic force, the normal contact, the weight, the friction, the spring force, when all these are acting in the system, how things will be. Yeah. Read the question. Almost, I think, 5 problems I picked up from Pathfinder. Read the question first. Read the question so that what I am teaching you'll understand. Okay, there's the initial diagram. Again, a block is placed, no? So if you place a block, okay, no, we'll write equations. So what all things? So let's assume some. All of you read question. I'll proceed with this. So what all we do assumptions. I think I can construct another diagram in it. We'll see later on. Let me proceed here. So this will be H. Initial, some assumptions I'll make it because I had to write manometric equations. What is the state of spring? So let me take this, it says some H2. Now spring it will be compressed or elongated as not given anything. Spring is compressed or elongated, not given. I think the liquid is there. So definitely it must be compressed, no? The spring is compressed. So how the spring force will act like this, Kx naught. Okay, let's write the manometric equation. I will start from B, from the piston. Pistons are massless. Are you able to notice that? Without friction in vertical arms, the piston, the arm is supported on an equidistant length of the tube. What maximum additional mass can be gently placed on piston? This one. So that in arm will be remain inside the tube. So shall I proceed here? It will be, so we'll neglect atmosphere, neglect atmosphere. P naught I'll write here. To minimize calculations, or better say P naught. Okay, let's write the equation. So I'll write, so how to write manometric equation? Say I'm writing manometric. What is the pressure at B? Kx naught by SB minus, if I move inside the liquid vertically up, gauge pressure should be negative, plus rho GH minus rho GH1 equal to 0. Once again. But sir, here, how come spring force will set up a pressure here? Not, it need not be always from liquid, no? Here you can see that. Now you have to ask one beautiful question here, like, sir, liquid will exert force at all points, but spring force is acting only at one point. How can you write pressure? Say like the spring force, what is acting is on the piston, no? And the piston will exert force on the liquid. So Kx naught by area of cross-section of piston will be the gauge pressure by the spring force. If I move inside the liquid, minus rho GH by 2 plus rho GH minus rho GH1. I neglected P naught. If you want to take P naught will get eliminated. Again, lot of confusion. So that's why I just neglected this one. So here, so what happened? The pistons are massless. If the piston was having a mass here, then MAG by SA, area of cross section of that. So there's the one equation, you keep it here. Okay, after placing the load, I think it's all about the diagram. Huh? Let me take it. After placing the load, okay, I think I can't draw. Let me draw it to the same level. Okay, I tried my level best to get a better diagram. So after placing the load, so let it come down. And this piston will be in this position. Okay, let this be H. Okay, this will be H2 plus L. And spring, how much it will be compressed? K X naught plus L. Okay, fine. So this is the thing, no? So what happened, the amount of liquid which is present here, the amount of liquid present in this region where it has gone, it has increased here, no? This much of the liquid has come here. So shall we go for like a mass of the liquid should be conserved. So therefore, the liquid that got displayed in the column A, the amount of liquid that got displaced from column A should appear in the column B. So therefore, as the density, so mass should be conserved. So rho SA H1 minus H should be equal to rho SB into L, or SA H1 minus H. Keep it 1. Volume of liquid, or decrease in volume of liquid in column A should be equal to increase in volume of liquid in column B. I don't have everything, so I'm just explaining it. I can't write so much of things. Huh? So from this is what? Comparing the volume of liquid should be conserved here. Okay, fine. Next again, come for this diagram. So can you write any manometric equation here? So there's a spring constant K. So let's go for again writing manometric equation. K minus rho G H2 plus L plus rho GH minus rho GH minus mg by SA equal to 0. Why mg by SA? So look at the manometric equation, K x naught plus L SB, area of cross section SB, here SA, no? Manometric equation. Spring force by area of cross section of piston minus rho G H2 plus L plus rho G H capital H minus rho G H mg by SA, where I end up negative, all set equal to 0. So on, okay, let's do one thing. Kx naught by SB minus rho G H2, and okay, this particular quantity will become everything equal to rho G H1. So can we substituting? So put 1 in 3. Kx naught SB minus rho GH2 plus rho GH can be replaced as rho GH1. So rho GH1 plus KL SB minus rho GL minus rho GH minus mg by SA equal to 0. This is called equation 4. Or if you will simplify one more step. I think I'll keep it this much. Writing equations will be easier. Okay, shall I take out this much? We'll have enough space to write all the things. Now come for this one. So this will become rho G H1 minus H minus rho GL KL SB minus mg SA equal to 0. Rho G H1 minus H, you can write it as SB into L. So substituting this, you call equation 4. 3 in 4. So there should be rho SBL rho GL plus KL SB. I think almost it's all, no? We are very near to the answer. So what is the question? So SBSA. So what is our question? What we are supposed to find out? What additional mass expression for M? So can you simplify for M? All the things are known. L is given, K is given. So we have to solve for M. It's all about manometric equation. Huh? SB in terms of SA, you can write it and solve for M. Anybody simplify? What is L? L is also known thing. Anybody value? Or shall I write directly answer? Will you verify? I'll go for next question. So all things are known. So SB equal to eta SA something is trilling. So from that the SA will get eliminated, SB will get eliminated. So the final answer I'll write it. KL eta G. What is, I think, some data. SB equal to eta times of SA. From there that eta will come. This is given. And this will be our answer. Manometric equation. I don't think so anything very big with this problem. It's all about writing manometric equation. I'll show the total problem. Okay, wait. In fluid mechanics, I'll bring problems where in fluid mechanics also spring will come. You can see that there will be in better position to write, because once you are able to write pressure, pretty sure you can manage. Let me take the next one here. Read this one. The mobile support is there. Call that as C. Some relationship he has given. I think that you have to write down here. No need of drawing additional diagrams. I think with this only we can, is asking to find out the spring constant K. If the mobile support is shifted downward, the piston shifts down a distance that is 0.5 times the shift in the mobile support. Mobile support, let it move by distance XC. Then what about XC? 0 times of the shift. So what is the displacement of? I think these are the data given. Displacement of the piston A should be equal to XC by 2. And the water level in the vessel B moves up a distance that is B equal to 0.1 times of the shift. What is XB? XB should be equal to 0.1 times of XC. And there's a data given. And what amount of water, the decrease in volume of water in column A should be equal to increase in volume of water in the column B. So from that conservation of volumes, rho XA into SA should be equal to rho XB into SB. So rho get cancelled, so this will be XA, XC by 2. What is XC? I think let me define what is XC. XC is no need to bother much diagrams. Huh? You can start from this. XC, let it be displacement of support downward. And so this will be, it will be XB will be upward. Then only I'm able to write the second equation. Volume should be conserved, no? Total mass should be conserved. Decrease in volume of liquid in A should be equal to increase in volume of liquid B. No, this should be equal to xc by 2 is equal to xb is 0.1 xc into sb. So from this, I'll get the relation between SA and SB. Call equation 1. No. He has given horizontal cross section of area of vessel B is 1. SB is how much given? 1 meter square. So what is SA? 0.2 meters square. Let's, what all possible things we can, what is it a spring, will it be compressed or this one, which will have more displacement? XC is 2XA and XA, can we calculate the compression or say elongation or deflection in the spring? Let's get into this one. Deflection in spring should be equal to XC minus XC. So what is XC? XC is 2XC. So shall I say deflection or compression? Better say, I think compression. No? The support C will move more than A, that one. So therefore I'll go for compression. Or if you want to only write deflection. I think this much is what initially we are able to move it. Is asking to get the spring force. See how much piston A moves, that much here the liquid will rise, no? Here. I think small diagram. Or after this, so this would be the condition. Spring force will act here. Kx, this SC. Here there's no piston here, just leave it here. And everywhere the liquid will be there. So if you write manometric equation from here to here, from point A to point B, there's no piston here. There's no piston. So writing manometric equation from A to B. So this should be Kx by SA minus rho G H equal to 0. What is H? H should be equal to? H should be equal to XB, no? The rising level of liquid. Substituting that, KSA minus rho G XB equal to 0. Kx, or since X equal to XA, write all the data. What is XA? XA we can write in terms of XB. So what is XA is equal to? How much XA in terms of XB? Anybody from calculation data? Using these two, just XA in terms of XB.
XB by 5, sir.
XA equal to 5XB, huh?
XB by 5, sir.
Check once.
5XB, sir.
5XB, huh? Now from where this is bought? Substitute this. So minus rho g xb equal to 0. So xb get cancelled. So therefore k is equal to rho g SA by 5. I think we know all the values. Substituting that, we'll get the spring constant. Check the answer. Answer will come 5,000. It will be. Do calculation later on. Nothing to do. Just very simple ideas. Patience is needed. The patience is needed to draw diagram.
Sir,
Uh,
I'm getting answer as 1,000, sir.
check your calculations more.
Yes, sir, 1,000.
Density is how much given? 2.5 gram per cubic centimeter. Then next what we have? G is 10. SA is how much?
Sir,
Uh-huh.
why aren't we considering atmospheric pressure, sir?
Anyway, that will cancel out here, no? P naught. Again, P naught.
Sir, H will be XA plus XB, no, sir.
Which one? H, huh?
Yes, sir.
Rise in level of liquid, no? It is.
Yes, sir. But A is also going down, no, sir. So that height will be added.
H, what you're saying? H is?
XA plus XB, sir.
No. H, I wrote XB, no? H, I took equal to XB. Huh? H is rising level of liquid in this one. So how much we are getting? 5,000. Huh? So 10,000 we are getting. I ended up with 5,000. Huh? Oh. Calculations, check it once. I think, are we correct? SA value is how much? SB is 1, SA is 0.2. Yes, SA, no problem. You have to check answer in the book. I don't know what is given. Okay, we check and afterwards we'll verify it. It's there in book. I don't know where to search book. No.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, in that equation which you wrote, kxa by sa minus rho g, so it should be h plus xb, no?
The level, the liquid air silicate, this one. So the A will move here, no? How much A will move, that much this liquid will be displayed there, no? The mass should be conserved. So how much of volume of liquid decreases here, that much should increase here. That's all, finish over. How much A will undergo displacement, not that much of B. So your volume, you should take that one. SA into XA, that one here. So the volume of this liquid. I think this, I have to stick on to this idea, no? Here. $6,000 given, huh? I don't know where is the other thing missing. Answer
Sir?
given, yeah.
I think the height should be XA plus XB, sir. I mean, the piston A is also going down, right?
Yes, sir. It should be XA plus XB, sir.
XA plus XB, huh? H equal to XA plus XB you're writing. So XA plus XB, if you write it, how much will get it? No, decrease. What is H? H is, oh, fine. Yeah. Got it, got it. The difference in level will be xb plus xa. Check it now. xb plus xa, how much will get it? Xa will be 5 times of xb. xb plus, this will be 5 times of xb. 6xb will come. So what shall I replace? 6xb. Now check answer. Six should come here. Huh? Check out the answer, no? Okay, there's a thing, no? I didn't made the relative displacement, we have to take it. XA and XB are in opposite direction. H will become XA plus XB. Anybody check the answer?
6,000, sir.
6,000. Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, this is very important. I'll write it. Okay, fine. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for good observation. Okay, we'll go for next one here. We have we made one conclusion. I wanted you to solve with that conclusion, not by integration. I think this diagram will be enough for us to show all the things. Read the question. So what is the state of the container? Container is accelerating, no? Leftward acceleration A. Find force of with uniform leftward acceleration. So there is an acceleration. Now I'm trying to redraw the diagram because drawing circle all will take more time. Okay, this will be the level of liquid, shape of the liquid as it is accelerating leftward. What is the acceleration? Acceleration will be, this will be acceleration of container. At least I'm helping with some diagram here. With uniform leftward acceleration, is it okay? The free surface should align itself. Theta is that particular thing. So here this will be alpha. So what is alpha? Angle made by the free surface with the horizontal. What approach should be there? Okay, you do one thing. If there is no acceleration, tell me how the liquid will exert force on this particular glass sphere. I'm just building up the idea for next week class. If there were no acceleration, okay, let's assume that there's no acceleration. No? So how the liquid will exert force? The net force exerted by the liquid on the sphere will be vertically up. No, because of acceleration, G effective will come. Because of acceleration, G effective will be there. So in what action the resultant force by the liquid on the sphere will be? Should be in this direction. Should be in this direction. The resultant force. Some angle it will make. Let's not bother that one. We can calculate that angle very easily. So it will make some angle. The resultant force will make some angle here. So this alpha is there, from that we'll come to know. If the container were at rest, the net force exerted by liquid on the solid will be vertically up. Because of the acceleration, the resultant force by the liquid on the solid will be in this direction. Okay, let's get into the showing the various forces that are acting. Weight mg. I'm just bringing pseudo force also, because we have not done any problem with the pseudo forces. That's why just introducing pseudo force. Of course, we did pressure in accelerating fluids. In terms of force, I'm trying to bring one condition. So there's a normal contact. Here, normal contact. What about the force due to the it should be like this. So there's the force by the liquid. Now what can be this angle? Shall we put same alpha only? Sir, how come? So there's a resultant force exerted by the liquid on the sphere. And it should be directed perpendicular to free surface. What is that FL? How to calculate FL? If the sphere were at rest, what would have been that force? Density of liquid, volume V into G, no? If container at rest. Since container moving, effective G, what is effective G? I think I gave one question in assignment which was related to like this thinking only. Even in static fluids, I can ask you some sort of forces related to this. If container were at rest, it would have been only G. Because of acceleration of container, effective G will come into picture. Okay, I think rest all everything equating forces. Huh? What is tan alpha? Tan alpha should be A by G. Tan alpha should be equal to A by G. So let's equate all the forces along X, along Y axis here. So this will be FL sine alpha. For first along Y axis, I'll make it FL cos alpha plus N1 minus mg minus mg minus N2. They should be equal to N2 sine theta, N2 cos theta. Here, this particular point. This will be theta here, no? I'll write one more. I think all the angles are there, so it should be equal to 0. This is along y-axis. Under action of all this, it is in equilibrium. It will not move. Himself is telling that one. So along x-axis will equate forces. FL sine alpha minus MA plus N2 sine theta minus MA equal to 0. I think solving all this will get it. So what is the question asked? Find the force of normal action between the bottom of vessel and the glass sphere. So what is being asked? I think N1. Solving for N1 is needed. Rho W, water, rho W. What is M? M will be rho into V. Good observation, huh? Because I know students what happen, they'll try to do integration. You'll get answer very lengthy, 2.5 pages it will come. But smart way of thinking. So this, I wanted you to think this one. Later on the next week, we'll call this as what? Buoyant force. Finish over. This later on the next chapter will give name for this force. Force exerted by the liquid on the solid. That we'll call buoyant force or thrust. Solve all these equations, you'll get this answer. I'll go for next one. I'll scroll down. Just make observation or take screenshots. What all? One more. Definitely, I can say a good problem for students to make observation. I'll give 3 minutes timer. Make very clean observation. No mathematics. Nothing is needed. The sentence is little bit very beautifully as placed here. Both will disappear. This is what you have to leave the bottom of vessel. Nothing to do with physics. Your grammar should be very systematic here. The sphere and the hemisphere both will simultaneously leave the bottom of the vessel. What do you mean by this? How to analyze this for in terms of physics? I'll have water. Okay, let's get into the discussion. Both will leave simultaneously. So what should happen to the rod, the light rod AB? It should remain horizontal. So what I'm going to do is first, I'll apply force. And because of that, here the tension is set up in the rod. Length of the rod is L, so let this length be X. The net torque about O should be 0. If that is 0, then both will leave simultaneously. Is it okay? What is the meaning of this? The sphere and the what is the meaning of this? I think there's a core of the problem. Huh? Means the net torque about O must be 0. Now, will you justify what I wrote? If A and B, if the rod AB remains horizontal on application of force, then only when both can live simultaneously. If the net torque is non-zero, then suppose the net torque is clockwise. Let's assume that it's a clockwise. Then if it's a clockwise, that when A will live, B will not lose contact. If it's anti-clockwise, B will lose contact, A will be in contact. So for both to live simultaneously, the net torque about O must be 0. There's a fundamental idea here. For that, means bottom of it means the net torque about O must be 0. So for that to happen, what should be the torque now? So T1 L minus X should be T2 into X. Then let's get into forces that are acting. Weight mg. The resultant force by the liquid. The resultant force by the liquid. I'll show it here. Actually, I had to show it somewhere at this particular point. For convenient purpose, I'm showing it here. Similarly, here, this will be T2. The liquid here will exert a force here. No? Mass of this be W1, W2 will write it. W1, W2. How this liquid will exert force normally. Now, resultant force of this, how it will be? Vertically down. So shall we take this to be the resultant force should be F2. What are F1, F2? Force exerted by the liquid. This F1, I have to show it somewhere from here. So for our convenient purpose, I'll just writing F1 there. Okay, that's like the equation T plus F1, T1 plus F1 minus W1 equals 0. What is F1? Density 2 by 3 pi R cube G minus, this will be each sphere of mass m, no? So this will be mg equal to 0. Same material and radius r. So the other sphere, the weight of this should be half of this. Or if you take this is volume V, total volume V. So this should be V by 2. In terms of that, if you are expressing, this will become rho V by 2 G, density of material, sigma Vg equals 0. Then T2 minus W2 minus F2 equals 0 on the hemisphere. So this tension T2, weight of this should be rho V by 2 sigma V by 2 G equal to rho V2 by G. Now, sir, what is how you write F2? Net force exerted by the liquid on the solid, what is equal to? Density of the liquid into volume immersed into G. I think I'll bring expression for T1, T2. So X is unknown thing which has to be determined. So solving this will get the required answer. Just only the idea of the forces. Huh? So here the pressure forces, you have to show it in this way. The resultant force will be vertically upward. The resultant force on both the hemisphere and solid sphere will be vertically, for a sphere will be vertically upward, for the hemisphere will be vertically downward. And how much that hydrostatic force? Directly, the density into volume immersed. A strict condition, one more. Here, so what actually happens, like practical, there's an ideal case. This cannot be really so smooth that no liquid will enter. There'll be some rough and the liquid will enter here. Practically, what I mean to say, practically what happens, some liquid will rush into this, in this region, and the net for hydrostatic force will be upward. There's the ideal case we are discussing. No liquid will enter into this region. There's an ideal, but practically what will happen, some liquid will come and the net hydrostatic force will be upward. This is what mistake we do. If you know buoyancy, you'll go wrong. If you don't know buoyancy, you are correct. Later on, I think next week, where if the liquid enters here, the buoyancy will come into picture. The hydrostatic force will be upward thrust will come into picture. I think you have to make a observation here afterwards. If an object is in contact with the bottom, is it rough or is it any smooth? That conditions have to be put it. I think he has explained very clearly. There's no water or air under the hemisphere. How many of you notice this? It really matters a lot. Fine. If there's a water, then the resultant force on the hemisphere should be upward, no doubt. Definitely, I can say there's a beautiful problem in fluids. Read the question. Draw the diagram. Without diagram, not possible. Okay, meanwhile, you read and understand, and I'll put the diagrams. Yeah. So there's a one diagram. The liquid before that. This axis. Completed reading. Okay, try to work out now. Little bit diagram help is needed. Without diagram help, very difficult to analyze. That's why I'm just going for some better diagram. So easy for me through diagram to explain. Oh. I think some problem. Huh? Let me do it here only. Got erased. Yeah, fine. Yeah, this. What will happen? So I think some information somewhere. I think last sentence. So that pressure in the air packet becomes eta times of its stationary tube. So earlier it was stationary. Now it is rotating. What is the state of it? It is rotating. So now it's a stationary. This is something very important for us. Let me save it. Again, we get deleted. So I'll erase this L. What will happen here now? There is some air in the middle. When the tube is stretched, ends of air packet are a distance L from the tube. Pressure in the air packet is P and the density of milk. At what angular velocity must the tube be rotated about its vertical axis of symmetry so that pressure in the air packet becomes eta times of its value? I think it'll become some other value. So here, whether it expands or contracts, I don't know. At least I should show that the length will be different. You can see clearly from the diagram. So this will become X. This will become X. Okay, getting to the thing now. What is this liquid? See, this liquid is very important. If you can, static liquid, though tube rotates, this liquid, nothing will happen, no? Another problem. So what will happen to the air? Definitely the volume of air will change. So rotating tube. There's a stationary tube earlier. The more and more you look at that air column, the more trouble will come. You should not look at that much air column. You should come to the below horizontal column. How much pressure in the air will become eta times of P. Pressure here. So earlier it was P. So let's go for Eta times of exchange tube. So earlier pressure, let me assume P, some value. Pressure in the air packet is P. Okay, as himself he has given pressure in the air packet is P, and the density of mercury is rho. You have to be very careful about this P and rho. I think fine. No. Okay, now how much will become eta times of P pressure? So I'll call. Oh, no, P double dash will write it. So some later on I'll replace this. Pressure how much will be? P double dash. So don't look at the above column. Okay, what is that P double dash? P double dash should be eta times of P. So write that value. Now get into the concept here. So don't look at above air column, come to the below symmetrical liquid column. So I'm bothered about this. So let me shade it. So look at this liquid column, which is exactly whose length is equal to the length of air column. Okay, now analyze. So what is the pressure? So what is the state of it? What are the forces that are acting? That yellow color. So what about the pressure force at this particular point? Should be P double dash into S. Here how much will be? P dash into S. And this length is having X and it is rotating here. So this having a density. There's a liquid, no? Not air column. No, get into this one. So what is the mass? So that here pseudo force M omega square X by 2. Shall I write the total pseudo force that is acting that much? Now under action of this, what is the state of it? It's in equilibrium in rotating frame. I'm going to write this equation. What is the pressure at the axis? So what was earlier pressure? So let's come for that one. What is this total state of the liquid? So let me write manometric equation from point 1 to 2. From point 1 to 2. So what is the manometric equation? Pressure is, what is the pressure of air? There should be the pressure everywhere, the liquid P1. Then it should be P. It should be P. This should be the P, no? Of course, this side will be negligible. Huh? This side will be negligible. That's what he's saying. Huh? This one, so what is the pressure at the air? There should be the pressure at the axis. So therefore, from the above diagram, so what we write is P1 equal to P2. P2 is what? At the axis here. Now the point 2 again will remain as it is. Now as I rotate, what will happen to pressure at point 2? Will it change? The question comes here. Now pressure at 2 should not change because what is the state this liquid? From where this is coming? This is a static liquid. So what is the pressure here? Should be same. So therefore now at the axis, what was the earlier pressure should be the same. The pressure will be same. So though the column is rotating, the tube is rotating, the pressure at the axis of the liquid which is present at the axis should be the same. So therefore P2 should be equal to what? Should be equal to P only. So P1 equal to here P. After rotating also, it will be P2 equal to what? P dash here. P dash equal to P2, which is equal to P. Where from P1 equal to P2 equal to P is what I put it. What about P double dash? P double dash, I don't know. That has to be determined. Let's see, how do I can calculate from here? And what is the state of this liquid column? You can say it is in rotational equilibrium better. The resultant forces. You stand at the axis and check it, no? The net force on it should be 0. If you stand at the axis, then what you see that one? P2 dash or P dash S P double dash. Why P double dash S will come? So what pressure is acting? That pressure should act here. So what is the pressure at this particular point? Should be P double dash. The pressure at this point should be equal to pressure at this point when it is rotating. Okay, let's equate now. So P dash plus M omega square x by 2 minus P double dash S. P dash is P. S, so what is the mass? Rho Sx omega square x by 2 P double dash this one. So S will get eliminated. P plus rho omega square x square by 2 minus P double dash 0. What is our question? What angular velocity omega? The pressure will become eta times. So what is the pressure? Pressure P double dash should be eta P. That was a given. So I'll write it here now. Is it this equation correct? But we don't know x, no? X is unknown thing I assumed, am I right? You say nowhere x is brought. X is what I assumed, that should be eliminated. How to eliminate? The air will undergo the air gap. So the air undergoes isothermal process. So based on that, P into SL 2L should be equal to P double dash S into 2x. So from this, what we can write it as, and P double dash is what? P S 2L P double dash should be eta P S into 2x. So therefore x is equal to L by eta. Substitute that here and solve, you'll get expression for angular velocity. It's not, problem is nothing is there, only that column. So how to write that manometric equations, all that is very important. P dash is the pressure at point 2. I shown a yellow color column. I think you have to look at here. P dash should be equal to P. Can be asked in advance, little bit you have to alert. So when rotating column comes, no, only one column, okay. When two column comes, still the pressure at this point should be equal to this. And what about pressure here? Because now it's air. Now again, don't call pressure at all points on the axis should be equal to P only. This is air. Everywhere pressure will be P double dash here. If I give density of air also, then again pressure will be different at different points. So we assume that density of air. So this isothermal process, temperature remains constant. That's what most of the problems, what all that air enclosed will undergo isothermal process because glass is like insulated. I'll scroll down. So you have to, I'll write the equation now. Please better verify it. The answer will be this much. 2p eta minus 1 by rho. And this is P. P rho, I think a little bit you be careful. I'll scroll down, we'll take the next question. This already, I think I give. So let me go for some last 20 minutes is there. Few simple basic things. Still many problems are there, which are very good for students to really think and that one. Okay, later on we'll see. So just I give some simple ideas like this. If you draw a diagram, write equation, make observation, it may take 1 hour, but at least you're going to learn a lot.
Sir, why will the pressures be equal in the previous problem?
How come pressure equal? What do you mean by that? I don't know what.
In the two tubes, sir.
What pressure equal? Where?
Sir, the P double dash and P double dash.
P double dash and
In the below tube, sir.
why they're equal? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Oh, manometric equation. P double dash here what happens? Some like a pseudo force that will set up a pressure. The pseudo force per unit area. Okay, I think I think somewhere you are. There's a 0.1. There's a 2. No, so let me take 3, 4. This is 5. What you get pressure difference between 1, 3. The same pressure difference will be there between 5, 4. I think there's a one simplest way I'm telling this one. Manometric equation you can even write for rotating column also. P1 plus pseudo force. Okay, that one minus P3. P1 gauge pressure due to pseudo force minus P3 equal to 0. Similarly, you can write here, no, P5, this one. So, and what is this? This everything is in rotating. In rotating frame, definitely the pressure at these 2 points will be equal.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Got it? No, small ideas, huh? So somewhere asking doubt regarding this. Let me, I'll take a, so there's a cylinder of height 2r. There's a radius 2r. There's a diameter is 2r. I'll fully fill up a liquid. Then I'll keep on a surface. So what is the force exerted by this liquid on the bottom? So where is the bottom? Now the bottom will come in this way. So let the liquid is also present here. This is some very general. A student must have idea. There's a 1, there's a 2. So able to understand? This is some sort of like a cylinder, tapered cylinder or whatever you can call. So it is kept on the bottom. So what is the force exerted by this liquid on the bottom? There's a bottom. Now I'm going to invert it. Let me invert it. So I'm going to place this on. Very simple, I think it's there in SC Verma. Just I picked up for. So this will be placed here, will be inverted. What about the force at 1 and 2? Now 2 will be there. The 1 will come here. What is the force exerted by the liquid on the bottom? So now this, I think the bottom will not permit the liquid to flow out here. Similarly, same thing. So it's a closed one, you can put it. It's like a closed one. Yeah, let it be. Now come for this one. What is the force at 1? So the F1 should be equal to pressure at that point into area. What is area? Radius is 2r, no? This will be, so this will be A1, I'll write it. So P1 is equal to how much? Rho G, total height. So let this be again, take R. So 3r, area of cross section of this pi 2r whole square. 4, 4, 3 are 12. So 12 pi rho G R cube. Agree this, there's the force exerted by the liquid on the bottom. Similarly, now I invert it. Let's see in this case, F2 is equal to pressure at 2 into area. What is area? A2. So pressure depends only on depth. So it will not change. So this will be rho G 3R. What is area? only pi r square. So how much of this? 3 rho g pi r cube. What is the weight of the liquid? We'll calculate. What is the weight of liquid will be? The weight of the liquid will be rho into volume of this will be pi r square into 2r pi 2r square into r into g. 4466 pi rho g r cube. What about the first case? In the first case, the force exerted by liquid on the bottom is greater than the weight. What about second case? The force exerted by the liquid on the bottom will be less than weight of liquid. Now, if you take a container of this shape, now in this case, what will happen to the force exerted by the liquid on the bottom? Is equal to its weight, its own weight. So altogether, it all depends upon the shape of container. You do have some very good questions, I think, in some Cengage book, if you take it, no, or in SC Verma, you have questions without diagrams are there. No, definitely the force exerted by the liquid, here F3, if you take it, this should be equal to weight of the liquid. So it all depends upon the shape of container, no? How you orient it, how the container is oriented, that will determine so how that forces should be acting here. How much of force, all that particular thing. So you do have very good objective questions you are supposed to verify. Today I'll upload few, if you, some questions are there, 4 or 5 of this kind. So you have to work out here. And these are very important, what I discussed now, Pathfinder, compared to that, I think for exam, these are very important. Okay, let's take the next one. Okay, anybody taking screenshot? You can go for screenshots. Completed? I think we have this problem. Okay, we'll finish on this. 15 minutes time is there, no? Rotating tube. Read the question. A vertical U-tube is spined above the vertical axis passing to the left-hand limb with an angular speed omega such that the liquid columns in the limbs have heights h and 3h as shown in figure. Find the value of omega is telling. It will be like this. We had a certain discussion, no? Like y equal to omega square r square by 2g. Why can't we use that formula? Straight away, we had some discussion, will I agree? Can we take help of that discussion what we made? Okay, no, let's get into the problem. He's asking what should be the omega for this to happen. Okay, if you don't rotate, what will happen? So let it not be rotated. Then for equilibrium, the pressure on this side, I think better if you can start the problem like this, you'll be in a little bit on safer side. Means what I'm studying, you'll understand very easily. it should be in equilibrium. So the level of liquid should be equal, should be same or different here. The, see, it should be different. So we are not bothered. So what the lighter one will rise to more height, the denser one will be like this. Okay, now take this one, and this will be this one. So the total volume should be conserved. So this will be, I don't know, y1. This will be x1. This will be x2. This will be y2. Only one help is the pressure at 1 should be equal to pressure at 2. Pressure at 1 should be equal to rho g y1 should be equal to 2 rho g y2. So y1 equal to 2y2. And x1 plus x2 should be equal to 7h. And total volume of liquid. So this y1 equal to y2 we have. So then what is other equations? We can write it as y1 plus x1 plus x2 plus y2. This should be equal to how much? 3h, 6h, 6h plus 5h, 11h. And x1 plus x2 is how much? It should be equal to 7h. Okay, I do have two equations to unknown. Solving, I'll get y1 and y2. Will I agree this? This should be the state. Because of what? Because of if there is no rotation. Stationary. Y1 equal to y2. Let me substitute 2y2 7h plus y2 equal to 11h. 3y2. So 11h 3y2. So y2 will be 4h by 3. The lighter one should rise more. This should have been this one. If you rotate it, they will occupy this position. See, please try to understand like why you are doing this problem. I think this is very important. Without that, you'll be in a big trouble. If the tube is stationary, this should have been the levels. So then if I rotate it, they will acquire this particular state. So for that, what should be the angular velocity? Getting this one? So please try to understand. So now we'll get into the problem. So shall we directly take the question now? So what should be the omega? What are the forces you are supposed to equate here? I'll directly jump into the discussion. Here, there's a point 1, point 3, there's a point. It is rotating. So the pressure at 3. So I'll use the, just now earlier I used pseudo force. No, the same idea I'll use. Or else, no, sir, I'm getting confusion a little bit. Okay, you want to take small diagram. The pressure at 3, it will exert a force P3 into S. This will be P1 into S. Here a pseudo force should act. How much it should be? Rho omega square. If this length is x1, you call it. I think that length should remain same, 4h only. Or time being, you write it x1. So x1 square by 2. So equate the forces now. P1S plus rho, density of liquid is rho, no? Rho omega square x1 square by 2 P3S minus 0. P1
Sir?
is, yeah, ma.
Is it x1 by 2 whole square, sir?
X1 by 2. Okay, I have to write it whole square. Omega square. Okay, the x1 is the length I picked up. X1 by 2 whole square it will come. Pseudo force m omega square. Or else we can integrate also. What is there in that one? You take small element dm omega square x by 2 will be there. Oh, sorry. I think you are. You mean to that square should not be there? No. Okay. Why by 2? Why not whole square? So if you're getting confusion, so we'll begin like this. Small element, you take it dx. This is dm. Then how much of pseudo force? dm. We assumed it at a distance x. Then what is the pseudo force will be? M omega. So total length is x, no? So dm omega square x, you are going to write it. Then, so what is the pseudo force will be? Pseudo force Fc, I'll write it. Pseudo force F should be equal to integral of dm omega square x, 0 to x. I'm just trying to show that rho s dx omega square x, 0 to x. So rho s omega square x dx, 0 to x. Okay. Shall I write x by 2 whole square or x square by 2? X square by 2 only. Okay, this discussion, I'll keep it. This will move it down. I need space. Okay, ma. Some of you are asking like a x square by 2. If I write x by 2 whole square, what is the meaning of that? I think there is some reason is there why we are writing that pseudo force in this way. So shall I write directly rho because let me save some time. Oh, this is needed. No? Let's come for this one. If length is x1, then this will be the condition. I think I'm not confusing with so many diagrams. So shall we write pressure equation in this way here? Now what is x1 here? X1 should be the length of this column 4h. Solve it, you'll get relation between P1 and P3. Similarly, shall we write between P3 and P2? So the one S will also be there. P3S plus rho omega square (3h whole square S minus P2S equal to 0. Okay, what about P2? Can you write anything about P2? But what was our question? So P3 can be eliminate S by using these two equations. P3 will eliminate here. After eliminating, then P1, P2 are unknown. So shall we write P1 is equal to rho GH, and what is P2? P2 should be equal to rho G 3H. So solving equation 1, 2, 3, we'll get expression for omega. This y rho omega square, it should be written the pseudo force you have to for the liquid column due to rotating liquid column. Why the pseudo force should be the condition. I think there's a way of writing directly. If you're writing the forces here, if you're writing pressure, this S should not be there. So shall we make a rule now in a rotating liquid column, how to write the manometric equation? So I think now I'll take you to the writing equation. Looking at this. Now don't bother anything. So what is the pressure at 1? P1 plus rho omega square 4h whole square by 2 minus P3 equal to 0. Writing manometric equation in the rotating liquid columns. I think nothing wrong, no? P1 plus rho omega square 4h whole square x1 will become 4h minus P30. Similarly, if I write from P3 to P2, P3 minus 2 rho omega square. What is the length of liquid column? 3h whole square minus P2 0. Fine. As a teacher, I think I was supposed to, here 2 rho is there, density. Try to see this. So there's I derived it, but hereafter directly in exam, you're supposed to think here. Rotating liquid column. No problem. Or sir, I want to write manometric equation from here to here. Straight away you write it, no? So pressure here P naught plus rho GH. Then rho. So if you are very smart enough and want to save time, no? So what is the equation you're going to write? From A to B. Pressure at A, PA plus rho GH minus rho omega square 4h whole square by 2 minus 2 rho omega square 3h whole square by 2. Then I'm going to rise up inside the liquid. So this should be 2 rho G 3h or 3h minus PB equals 0. And we know PA equal to PB equal to P naught. Same thing will get it. So this is one. No need to do that. This directly writing manometric equation. I think there's a skill what you should acquire. Say this, all this will come not like in this one. When you do numericals and start analyzing, oh, can I think like this also? Oh, fine. So why to write from 1 to 3, 3 to 2, again a pressure at 1, pressure at 2, straight away from A to B you write it. Omega will be 5 under root of 5g by 41h. Check it. There's a manometric equation in rotating liquid columns. Please generalize it, very important in exam because you have to save time. Okay, no, I will wind up the class. Okay, thank all of you. Take it. So I'll give some assignments, small problems, are not lengthy, which are purely for objective oriented. So try to work out. Any doubts you can clarify. Today I'll upload the assignment. Okay, thank all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.